I know what everybody's thinking. That I am a master artist on WWE 2K24 and I created Joe Hendry. And I put him on the NXT brand. Nah. That is Joe Hendry on WWE television, that being NXT. Now we are a month in, more or less, of the relationship between TNA and the WWE. Tatum Paxley just challenged Jordan Grace at Against All Odds. So my question to you, do you like the partnership between TNA and WWE, or do you think that the WWE needs to do what the WWE has always done and just focus on its own brand and let the others fight it out amongst themselves? As always, if you like the video, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, comment down below on your opinions on this relationship between TNA and the WWE. A lot of people's upset about Joe Hendry being eliminated first overall, but he kind of set himself up for that. But let me point out, the WWE did something very generous that they didn't have to do because they didn't do it for nobody else last night on television. Joe Hendry got his full entrance, and he got a promo. Nobody else in that ring, including Frankie Kazarian, the king of TNA, got that opportunity. Now don't get me wrong. Frankie Kazarian showed out last night in the men's 25-man Battle Royal. I would like to have seen him win, but I don't think Trick Williams could even keep up with him in the ring. And I'm going to make a video about that eventually. I think this Trick Williams run has been mid. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. But I really enjoy this relationship between WWE and TNA, and here's why. One, I've been watching TNA on my own anyway before they even had this relationship, and I was already a big fan of Joe Hendry. But this relationship is going to do a couple of things. It's going to give the NXT a chance, superstars a chance to work with another company, to have an opportunity that maybe if they're not being used on NXT, that they can be used over in TNA. Eventually, one of them is going, and I'm going to tell you right now, this relationship is already better than the relationship that TNA and AEW had. Because even though Jordan Grace lost at Battleground, and even though Joe Hendry was eliminated first in the Battle Royal last night, but it was from another TNA store, so he protected him from that point of not putting over an NXT store over in a TNA store. So the WWE has been very smart about it, because then they send Tatum Paxley over to get beat by Jordan Grace. Well, AEW just felt like, man, all the AEW stores are winning everything. They was beating every single TNA store that was available. And I think now you're looking at a kind of a give and take. Well, if an NXT store goes to TNA, most likely they're going to lose that rivalry or that match. Well, if a TNA person comes over to NXT, and Jordan Grace already beat somebody, an NXT superstar. So make no mistakes or bones about it, that you're going to see this relationship begin to really develop something to where eventually a title is going to another brand. Mark my words, as God is my witness, I'm calling it right now, that somebody is going to lose their title, and it's going to either end up on TNA for a little bit or NXT for a little bit. It's just a matter of who's going to be the first one. But this is still a win-win for NXT, TNA. I've seen people on the internet saying, well, it ain't bringing no more viewership, it ain't bringing this, ain't bringing that. Give it time. It's going to. The fact of the matter is, people knew who Joe Hendry was before he even showed up on NXT. So don't tell me that Impact ain't making an impact, pun intended, out there in the wrestling world or in the WWE world, because WWE fans are singing his song and clapping right along with the beat. It's a win-win, because a lot of the people on TNA are a lot more experienced than the NXT superstars. And it gives the NXT superstars different opponents and different opportunities and different storylines of working well with one another. And it gives them something, hey, if something would happen and they would get released, TNA may hire them, and vice versa. That someone may get released from TNA and they'll come to WWE. It's showing, there's just too many positives for me to really just not make a short video about. If I was going to list all the positives and break it down and do all this stuff, you'd be looking at a 20-minute video like I used to do back in the day, and ain't nobody wanting that, including myself, because even I get tired of hearing myself talk. But this relationship, stop trying to make it negative. It's not a negative relationship. Let's enjoy the time that you're in. Is it going to last forever? Probably not. So let's enjoy the time in which we are in. That the fact that TNA, Joe Hendry, in the words of Joe Hendry, we believe.